We are live. How about you, everybody? Welcome into this week's edition of the Auburn Live call-in show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. Today is what? Sunday, October 29th, 2023. Auburn is 24 hours away, or actually past their first SEC win under Hugh Freeze. Auburn beat Mississippi State 27-13. Want to hear as many opinions, comments, questions as possible tonight. Give us a call, 701-779-9585. Here to answer and address all of your questions and comments. Mr. Cole Pinkston and Mr. Zack in the back has come to the front, or he will maybe in a minute. How about you, Cole? How about you, Zack?
How about you, sir? How about you?
All righty. We've got some phone lines lined up. Again, if you're been living under a rock, Auburn beat Mississippi State 27-13 on Saturday. Peyton Thorne had probably one of his better games. I think he completed 20 of 26 passes for 230 yards, 3 touchdowns. It was a hell of a day. Zack, you said you got some phone line. The phone lines are buzzing.
They are. Already got
Good.
5 callers. Been on here more than 10 minutes before the show, so shout out to them.
Shout out. How about you get them on live?
Bring it on. 5960. We got to start the show right. You're live.
Oh, man, I get in first tonight, man.
What's going on, Mr. Kid Country Kid?
Hey, man, I told everybody just calm down. Just calm down. I know we all work up. We all hate losing, but everybody just calm down. It's going to be okay. You see, because you look at it now. I hate to get too far ahead of myself, but I got 3 winnable games ahead of me. I can win these games. I like my matchup with Bama and Jordan Hare. I like my secondary matchup against what they do best is deep ball. I like my secondary against this. We okay.
Edward.
We okay.
What do you have Auburn's record over the next 4 games?
The next 4 games.
So you got Vandy, Mississippi State, New Mexico State, and Bama. How does Auburn finish the year? 2-2, 3-1.
I want to say 4-0. I want to say 4-0, but
we'll do it.
But my loss might not be to the team that most folks thinking the loss will be to. If I drop one, I'm looking at Arkansas on the road.
Yeah, I just can't find Auburn there.
I got confidence, man, in Jordan Hare against Bama. I just got confidence. I just seen some bad Auburn teams beat some good Bama teams. They don't feel me. That team don't feel me. My defense match up perfectly against them.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Cole, you made me smile the other day, man.
I hope so.
When I first started calling in, man, people assume I was just talking. This just guy just talking. Kid himself, and he gonna hype him up. I told people, man, look at Darius Smith. When the ball gets in his hand, there's a chance for the band to play. Most people didn't understand what I was saying. For you to come out and say, man, he's huge, probably number 1 target for the 25 class, that wide receiver, that means a lot. But what I really want people to understand about this kid, somebody number 1 target on the defensive side of the ball. That's a kid that is no risk in this kid. Because guess what? I got full confidence as a receiver. But this also a kid that can start as a true freshman and run Robert defense. You're looking at basically Keontae start gaining self-control. The way he able to come off the air from the star position, he can play the safety position. That's what you got in him. So for him to be, I watched a lot of football, man. I used to help with my high school team, coaching, defensive line. You know, I've been all across this state watching high school football. That was my Friday night thing. I was somewhere. Every every crack and corner in this state, I'd have been there watching a high school football game. And I tell people, and this name I'm finna bring up, it's gonna ring a bell with you, Jay Lee, because I know you know this guy. Derek Smith might be my second or third best high school football player that I've seen play with everything he's able to do. And that's sad something because my number one player in this state will always be my number one player in this state. And that's a guy that was involved in a tragedy. Terrence Wilkes will always be my number one player that I saw play in the state of Alabama. I know Jay Lee knows what I'm talking about. Terrence Wilkes.
Yeah, covered him.
Alabama. Teammates Terrell Zack. He was committed to play football for Auburn University, but he was killed his senior year. That kid would have been in the same conversation with Cadillac Williams and any other great man that came through Auburn. He had just that much ability, but he was killed. He was robbed of his future, man, and that hurt me. But behind him, man, I'm telling you, Derek Smith stacks up right there, man.
Edward, I'm so glad you brought up Derek Smith because I have some new intel on Derek Smith. For those who don't know, Edward is talking about Derek Smith, 2025 4-star athlete, is what he's listed as on all three, but he's been recruited as a receiver by Auburn. Edward made the point. There's other schools who have him as a nickel, and he's their number one nickel. It goes. This kid is versatile as it gets. Okay, he actually plays edge rusher, like a stand-up edge at his size, which is not a huge guy, and he's disruptive. But anyway, I do have some new intel on him. I called him on our board, possibly Auburn's number one receiver target for 2025. Now that is under the idea that Ron Williams is going to reclassify to 2024. I do think that's going to happen. That's my guess. If that happens, your number one receiver for 25 is Derek Smith, I believe. And he likes Auburn a lot, I'm told. But
Exactly really right, Cole. So I reached out to one of my sources today, and I don't know what he had told me, but it had been a shift towards the good guy's way. I can say that. Whatever he's selling, Mr. Smith, he liking it. I can say that. He liking it. He liking it.
I will say again, it was a really good source who told me, hey, Auburn's top 2 or 3 here, and moving up with Derek Smith. I mean, that guy right there, that is an unreal talent, and Auburn's right there. Again, once again, in-state, Auburn's going to be in it. Just go ahead and bank that.
Oh, man. That's saying something. I mean, Jamie, did you ever cover Terrence Whips from up in Wiley?
Shoot, man, I covered Terrence when he was in the 8th grade. He was all state. Yeah, he was all state from the time he was able to pull on a varsity uniform. He was something else, man. His brother Paul was a really good linebacker too. I think Wadley. But they made Final Four. I don't think they ever won the state with Terrell. They had another kid, Stanley Allen. He was a quarterback. I think he went to Alabama State and played. They had 4 or 5 really good players. Too. Stanley Allen, Paul Wilkes, Terrence Wilkes, Terrell Zack.
Go ahead and call me for talent evaluation on 3 or somebody because, man, I feel so good because I've been telling people about this kid from Selma, man, ever since I seen him in Pee-wee. This ain't no lie. I know what the next 3 or 4 superstars in Central Alabama. I know 3 or 4 guys right now that I can give y'all names, and I'll bet you anything you want to bet. In the next 2 to 3 years, you will interview each and every last one of these 4 guys that I know them personally right now. That the young guns do. I had a little cousin. I'll tell y'all this story before I hang up. I had a little cousin. He was 12 years old. The thing about him, I always excelled in basketball and football. I can shoot the hell out of basketball. Still can. This little 12-year-old kid, my little cousin, I trained him up. And one Sunday afternoon, we playing ball. And I went up and I pump faked him. He went up in the air, And after he went up in the air, I jumped because I thought he would be coming down. This kid blocked my shot about 20 feet. I looked at him. He looked at me. He smiled. I thought about that for a whole week to the next Sunday evening when we played. And I told him, I said, man, you different. I got the ability to see things way before other people see it. Long story short, my little 12-year-old cousin that blocked my shot, he's now the number 4 all-time shot blocker, Conference USA. He went on to win 2014 Mr. Basketball State of Alabama, Mr. William Ha Lee. I trained that kid. He had offered to go to Auburn or wherever he wanted to go, but he chose USC. So when I tell y'all about these young kids, y'all pay attention to what I'm telling you, man. Y'all gotta have a good night. Let me listen to you.
Appreciate you, Edward. Edward,
I'll tell you,
knows.
me and Edward, the night I went to watch Derek Smith, me and Edward sat there and talked about all kinds of. He got a lot of relatives, number one, but he knows a lot of people too, and he's got college football all in the family over there. Edward. So you better listen to old kid when he tells you something. Now he knows.
Hey, Zach, before we get to our next caller, man, I just got a text saying, dude, I'm waiting on you to tell me what that realtor's name is. All right. I totally skipped over that. I'm not going to tell her we missed her. But, hey, if you're looking for a house, if you're looking to buy or sell a house in Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, look no further for the help you need. Miss Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group, give her a call, 334-704-4442. She is fantastic. She is a 5-star realtor. Give her a call, man. She can do it all. Sell your house, buy your house, find you something what you're looking for. Even some land, man. She's been closing on some land stuff here lately. She can do it all. 5-star, big dog, versatile. Consensus. 334-704-4442. Tell her we sent you. Forgot to mention Jhead. Jhead is not with us tonight. He is on baby patrol. We've all been there. He just couldn't make it work. So we are going to do our best without him. I know it's not going to be the same, but he'll be back with us on Wednesday for the recruiting show, and then hopefully back Sunday for the call-in show. Hey, Auburn's at Vandy this weekend.
Yes, in Knoxville. Hey,
you
Jeffrey,
see the line on that?
Real quick.
Go ahead.
I haven't seen it yet, Zach. If you can find it,
looking at Auburn 13-point favorites.
Hey, on the road.
By the way, Cole, you've got something. Let me say something. I'm still at 6-6. By the way, I wanted to tell Jhead that, but he's not here tonight.
Hey,
even
I think me and Jhead were both at 7.
Right.
And Jhead is the one that stood out and said, "I'm not ready to change that yet." I think this was after the LSU game, maybe.
Yeah, it was.
So good for him. That looks possible. It looks possible, no doubt.
But I'm still. I don't like at Arkansas. I'm still not where I'm going. I would really be curious to know what the line is for that game. If it were Saturday, if it was Auburn going to Arkansas this weekend and not to Vandy, I think Arkansas's. I think Arkansas's favored.
Yeah,
this is a great Jhead question, right?
This might be at one of your pick'ems, like 1 point, one way or the other. I mean,
they might lean Auburn because Arkansas is 2-6 right now. Just fired their OC.
Yep.
I think Auburn. Yep. I would say Auburn by like 3 to 5. Somewhere around there. Just because you give home field 3 points usually. So if it was in Jordan Hare, I feel comfortable saying Auburn be about an 8-point favorite probably.
Okay.
I would argue that the lines have leaned heavily to Auburn all year. I haven't seen a line that was just like. I mean, when you got in 2012, the line started getting 21 points, 28 points. I don't think there's been one over 14 points, has there?
LSU was 14.
Yeah, maybe somewhere right. It was right about the 14 mark, if I'm not mistaken. I think it shifted a lot though throughout the week.
I will say this: what my feelings for the Arkansas game, I'll know a lot more after the Vandy game. I want to see Auburn's offense. I want to see Peyton Thorne go on the road and look competent. I haven't seen that all year long. There's no reason for me to believe that Auburn can go on the road. Peyton Thorne can go on the road, especially to Arkansas, and look competent. He has that. There's no proof of concept.
Hey,
also want to see what Arkansas looks like against Florida this week. That's going to be a good matchup, especially with Florida coming off that Georgia loss. Like, what does Graham Mertz look like, and what does that Florida defense look like against a new OC, a new kind of offense that they're running over in Arkansas?
I will say this though, and Arkansas might be favored, Jeffrey, but so much. Here's the biggest difference to me in last year to right now. How many recruiting battles? I mean, there were a few. It's not like there was a bunch, but there were a few that there between Auburn and Arkansas, and you didn't know which way they were going to go. Auburn ain't in recruiting battles with Arkansas right now.
That's true.
They're winning those.
Well, they did lose to White Simmons. They did lose White Simmons.
Yeah, White Simmons. Yeah. But, at a position where you've got three guys that you absolutely wanted too. So I think they wanted Wyatt too. But, yeah, I'm with you there. I wanted to say too, Jeffrey, this is at the heart. This is a recruiting show. We talk football. We talk all of it.
Sure.
Malik Blockton, last week, 4 sacks. This week, 4 sacks.
Get out of town.
Region champs. They beat Carver. Both were 6-2 going in. Pike Road on the rise there. I'm from Pike Road, so I'll give them a shout. But look, that's 8 sacks in 2 weeks for Malik Blockton. He is being recruited by Alabama. He was one of the guys at the game. We didn't have all that many guys to interview this week. I got an interview with Malik. We'll put that up tomorrow morning. He says he's 100% to Auburn. I don't think there's any, worry there, obviously, with Marcus Harris there and all this, and he's been to every Auburn game I have pretty much since he was in 9th grade. But Alabama does want him, I found out. And so to that guy who commented on Malik Blockton's tweet that day and said Alabama doesn't have a real offer to you, you're wrong, brother.
Swing and a miss. Cole, that's a good question on topic too. And we'll get to the phone lines, guys. Usually when it's just us three, we can get on to another call, but we're spilling the tea here tonight. Cousin Fred wants to know if Pittman does get canned, that would mean the exit of Travis Williams. You see us going after Wyatt Simmons if he reopens his recruitment? I don't either.
No. No. I think the three they got, Joe Phillips, DeMarcus Riddick, DJ Barber, I don't think they could be any more pleased with that. That's the three they wanted. Wyatt Simmons was in there too, but now, numbers change as the year goes on. You may not need 4 linebackers like you thought you did. You got.
You think it's Jamonte Waller or bust right now?
Yeah, now he is specifically a jack. Now the reason I called Joe Phillips a linebacker is because there is a situation where he can move inside, and he has the ability to. And so does Waller, but they like him as the jack, kind of like the Jalen McLeod guy there. So if you haven't noticed the jack position, and you see Elijah McAllister, that big dude out in coverage sometimes. And it looks unnatural, but the point of it is to have a guy there that's athletic enough to do that so you can do all these exotic blitzes. That's the whole point of that position. And they think Jamonte Waller is the best in the country for that. They really do. Him and Joe Phillips.
All right, Zach, get us back to the phone lines. Thanks for bearing with us, folks.
2822, you're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cole from Knoxville.
All right.
Hey, good name.
Cole's a good caller, man. He called the last time you weren't
here. He is. Very good caller.
What's on your mind tonight, Cole from Knoxville?
Man, thought the game. Thought Auburn fans have a lot to look forward to, but in the future. But specifically around, man, a player like Connor Lew. I just feel like he played incredible Saturday. I feel like he was kind of thrown to the fire. I feel like he did a good job at making checks. Felt like pass protection was pretty good on Saturday. And I like that kid a lot. I don't know if y'all noticed anything on him or have looked at much, but I know that they've been excited about him as a staff, but I was just kind of blown away. I did not expect him to play as good as he did, but man, he played really good.
Bad thing about Connor was, and it's all offensive lineman, Cole, you know this better than anybody, but The only time you notice them is when they mess up, and he like what do you call it? Not Zorro, Toro. What do you call it?
Olay.
Yeah, he olayed the nose guard, but that's the only time I saw him. But go ahead, Cole.
He had a couple of missed assignments, you might call it. That's expected with a freshman. That's why you don't want to have so many freshmen out there. I don't know if you noticed, you're seeing a lot less of Kay and Lee.
Yeah,
but he got beat a few times. It's part of being a freshman, guys. Look, you get a veteran back in Pritchett, you got to play him, and he's playing well. But anyway, on Lou, he did something that a freshman offensive lineman, a freshman center doesn't normally know how to do. Twice, he got Mississippi State's line jumping, and he snapped the ball when the quarterback did not call for a snap. In other words, he triggered that snap based on, hey, I know I got him in the neutral zone. We get a free play out of this. That's veteran stuff, guys.
You know, that's the first time that I've seen that all season long.
Yeah,
Auburn do that, and it was because of Connor Lou.
Yeah, and now look, they probably talked about this a lot because Mississippi State's bringing every blitz in the world at you. So hey, you can get a free play or two out of this, Connor. You make sure you're watching. We're going to get him on a hard count a couple times, snap the ball. Now, one time I think he did it prematurely. They end up getting a bad play out of it because they don't get a free play. So this is what he's learning, right? But hey, look, dude's confident. That's number one, and he's twitchy as an offensive lineman.
Yeah,
that's what you're looking for on this level.
I was in Auburn for Ole Miss game. And man, just overall, I was Jeffrey, I think you've said this a couple times, and this goes to maybe how Auburn will finish the year. Man, obviously I hope we win out. Don't think we will. I probably have us dropping the Arkansas game. I just don't feel good about us on the road, just for obvious reasons. But I'll tell you what made me optimistic as an Auburn fan. Thursday night, checking into my hotel, I'm walking in, and I see these two kids that look pretty athletic, and look over Ryan Williams and the quarterback, can't remember his name.
KJ
Lacey.
Yep.
I'm checking into the hotel, and this is just my thoughts as an Auburn fan. 2 years ago, I don't even know if it's a possibility that we have a 5-star receiver in Auburn on the team or being recruited. And then I get to Tiger Walk and all that fun stuff, and the place is just swarming. Like, I'm looking around, Harry Thompson's there, Cam Coleman's there, DeMarcus Riddick's there. I mean, Ryan Williams is there, obviously. All these, I mean, dudes
studs
in that class. And it's just, as someone who's followed recruiting specifically the past like 3 or 4 years, I just think they're doing a dang good job. And I think this too, I think we've landed a absolute stud in Caleb Harris. I think he is a stud.
I agree.
I think he's highly underrated. And I think he's going to be a guy that Auburn fans may look up in 3 or 4 years and be like, man, that 3-star, where the heck he come from? Because, I mean, obviously, you guys have watched him. Dude's a player.
Yeah.
And he can find the football quickly.
Sometimes, man.
I don't know if you guys do this, but I have killed my soul many a times doing this. But I've been thinking about Caleb Harris and who he reminds me of a little bit. And I hate even doing this. And I am not saying that Caleb Harris is going to be as good as this player, because there's just no way to know that.
Sure.
But he reminds me, the way that he plays downhill, the way that he is just like, dude, he's coming to find you he is hunting for your head. if you have the ball. He reminds me a bit. He's a little bit smaller, I think, but
Jesus Christ, Cole, the suspense is killing me, dude. Who is it?
Say Mark Barron.
Oh,
yeah, the way that Mark Barron used to play.
Ooh, what a
just
comparison.
Downhill, coming to find somebody to hit. He reminds me a lot of Mark Barron. I don't think he's as big. I think he's skinnier than Mark Barron. But he reminds me of that type of player. And again, I'm not saying that he's going to be as good, but that's what he reminds me of.
The thing about Caleb Harris, man, is he may be 195 or 200 right now, but he could be 220. I mean, that's his frame. He's got it. Mine was Jamian Sherwood. That's the one that comes to mind for me, and he's sort of that Swiss Army knife kind of guy. He really can play linebacker. I mean, he might be a linebacker when he gets to Auburn. There's really no telling. He's not a linebacker, nickel, safety. He can do it all. I mean, he's just a football player.
Mark Barron.
He was a stud down in St. Paul's.
St. Paul's. Yep.
He had there was another guy in him in that class. I think they both went to Alabama. Do you remember
AJ
that?
McCarron?
Was it AJ? Was Mark and it was those two?
They had a kid. So, okay, because I played youth football for St. Paul's, and I was about that time. They had a kid named Ivan Matchett, who was probably the best player on that team, and he ended up getting hurt when he went to Bama and never played. But like down here in Mobile, they were saying that he was the best player on that team.
Matchett.
Mm-hmm. Ivan Matchett, I want to say is his name.
Didn't Jake Coker play there too, Zach?
Yeah, Coker. And then you also had AJ, and then there was another kid that was on the team. I don't remember what his name was.
Man,
Auburn got one kid from St. Paul's, Daniel Foster Allen. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, defensive end.
Yep. I don't know where he is now. I think he's still playing somewhere.
I think we got a lot to look forward to, guys.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
A lot of good recruits down there.
Cole, that's what this year is all about, man. I know Edward mentioned it last week on the show, and I wholeheartedly agree. I've said it many a times. The only thing you need to be looking at right now is what's happening for the future, the recruiting, man. Put all your passion in recruiting right now, and it certainly looks really good. Auburn's off to a tremendous start of the 2025 class. They're midway through the 2024 class and in on a bunch of stud flips, potentials. So I'm curious to see how the 2024 class finishes, and I'm absolutely thrilled to see what they do in 2025. A lot to be excited about.
Headed back to Knoxville. We lost. But, man, I'm happy I saw all those recruits.
There you go. There you go.
That's big time.
Have a good night.
Appreciate you, Cole.
Jeffrey, did you happen to hear what Dion said after this last loss they had? Somebody asked about the offensive line and how Shadur gets sacked so much. He said, "What do you do to fix that?" He goes, I'll paint a clear picture for you. We get a new line.
Go get a new offensive lineman.
Go get a new line. I was like, all right.
And then Narduzzi, in his press conference, they asked him like what was wrong with Pitt, and he was like, "Well, we lost a lot of good players, and apparently we didn't recruit any good players to replace them."
It's funny how it always comes right back to recruiting. So don't, I'd keep the eye on the prize here, guys.
Mm-hmm. All right.
6848. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Bryce from Bula.
Well, Bryce from Bula. What's on your mind tonight, big dog?
Hey, I just wanted to kind of pepper off a couple of observations and then a couple of questions, and I'll hang up and listen, let you guys chew on it a bit. So, first couple of things, it was Cole talked about someone asked someone in that kind of true freshman class that maybe we're not seeing a lot, maybe making some strides. I saw a picture kind of the sidelines yesterday during the game, and that Tyler Johnson, I mean, he just looks massive. So that was just something that stuck out. So hopefully he can kind of get in that 2 deep. And then something Cole talked about going into the season about throwing a little bit more to the running back. And you saw a couple of times yesterday we get in 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, and it'd be just a quick little pass out there, get it to Jeremiah Cobb or to Hunter, and let them be athletes in space and all that. So I thought that was a nice little wrinkle that I know Cole has talked about it and stuff like that, and obviously now seeing that was a big kind of change. So that kind of takes me into my first question here. Hoke had a post earlier this week, and he's had 3 or 4 really good ones about the McGriff situation. I think he's been pretty transparent and all that. And I know Jay Lee, I think he did a pretty good job last week of addressing it, what it was, and then just moving on, right?
Yeah.
But one that Hoke had, it was earlier in the week, he talked about McGriff now moving into this, I don't know, sort of made up recruiting kind of position or whatever they got for him. But I just wanted to get y'all's thoughts on what do you think that, now that you've got a guy that I know Freeze has been with him at least a decade, probably longer, but someone that he genuinely trusts, a guy that's reeled in some big fish over the years, a lot of them playing on Sundays. And now he's having that time that he may be missing in these offensive meetings or different things like that. Now McGriff's able to make a couple of those calls and all that, to free up a little time with for Hugh to kind of get in there. So I was wondering, do you think that was a result of maybe Hugh's influence a lot more on yesterday's kind of game plan? Or is this just kind of like, hey, man, we played 4 really good teams, and now we're just kind of catching up and catching our breath, and, that was – or is it just a combination of both? And then quickly, my second question was about kind of the true freshmen you guys hit on Connor Liu and Kay and Lee, and I know Falk is still playing a lot. You're seeing him flash out there, and Jeremiah Cobb, that throw that Peyton Thorne made to him down there for the touchdown before, that thing was beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean, he put it right on the money over the shoulder for Cobb on there. To me, it stood out as one of the best throws of the day. But what do you think that's going to do as far as their growth and all that, getting these real snaps in SEC games, and how that's going to go into like a fall, into spring? And then also, Cole, what do you think about some of the guys that are probably heading towards red shirts, but maybe we get to see a few of them now in these games, where they get their 4 games to play the New Mexico States, like the Colton Goods, the Tyler Scott, Sylvester Smith, these guys. So thanks for all you do, and I appreciate you taking my call. Y'all have a good one.
Appreciate you, Bryce. All right, Cole. McGriff taking over some of Hugh's – potentially taking over some of Hugh's – taking a little bit off his plate when it comes to recruiting. You've made the comment – there's only so many hours in the day for this head coach. So do you think Saturday's success on offense was a result of the McGriff move, or do you think, and this is, I agree with you here, Bryce, I think it was just Auburn had been playing 4 really, really good football teams and Mississippi State. Or was it a combination of the two, Cole? What do you think?
Look, it's a combination. The term that Freeze has used for all the offensive problems is a combination. Look, it's not just Thorne. It's not just the play calling. It's not just the receivers. It's a what?
It's a combination.
Yep. Good job pointing out that. I was like, how did your head just disappear? But no, just the same way, the success is a combination too. It's not just Thorne. It's not just the receivers. And everybody played better. I think the McGriff move helps you a lot there. But I want to go back to the Ole Miss game. We kind of found out later that, and I think it was said on the broadcast by whoever was calling the game, and then I think it was Justin who asked on Monday, were you calling the plays for Robbie when he was in the game? And I don't know if he gave a straight up yes, but pretty much.
Right. Yeah. The implication was yes.
Is it possible with McGriff being moved over, he was more involved, and he goes, all right, let's see if I can get my rhythm here as we get going. We're going to play Robbie more because I have the package. I have created that package. I'm going to get my play calling rhythm going. Now I'm going to be good when I go into the next game. Is it possible they did that a little bit? I don't know. Something I've been thinking about. Maybe. And he looked like he was in rhythm. And I know that Freeze called a lot of those plays. You can go and look at the thing that Auburn Football Twitter page just put up where he does the fist pump after the wheel route to Cobb that Bryce mentioned there, which was, gosh, that was a nice play. But I do know how Philip Montgomery sets things up. I've studied him enough now. He was definitely calling a lot of stuff too. So it is a mix, and the offense looks really nice. So if that's the case, better to mix coordinators than to mix quarterbacks, in my opinion.
Secondly, Bryce want to know about the true freshman, Connor Liu. I know Skeldrick was in there, and any potential true freshmen, probably maybe redshirt, but they got 4 games to play if they want.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's just like we thought when they were being recruited. When we were working that class last year, Jeffrey, who was the one we needed to hear from the most? Jeremiah Cobb, who was committed and being courted by Georgia and Tennessee and Clemson. They held on to him. All right, you flip Connor Liu when Freeze gets there. You flip Keldrick Falk when Freeze gets there. And you flip K and Lee when Freeze gets there. And these are the 4 guys that are playing for you right now. Playing significantly.
Dude, Jeremiah Cobb's good.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good, dude.
For real. He's for real. He has been for a long time, man.
I know you loved him out of high school, man. Quarterbacks and running backs, man, are my forte. And, he got that ass. You know what I mean? He got
no
that
doubt.
ass.
Hey, Keldrick Falk, too. Keldrick Falk's coming along really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you watch him and you go, okay, I understand he's a freshman. There's some things here he's going to have to clean up. But look, I mean, he can be dominant when he wants to be.
I love watching Keldrick Falk. And I'll tell you, Saturday, when they show replays of the defense line, even if he's not making the play, I like to watch him. Man, he looks so much more comfortable. He's not there yet, don't get me wrong. But, man, compared to 3 or 4 games ago when he was just making some significant playing time and just how, lost he was trying to do his assignment, and then he didn't know what to do. And, man, I felt like he's getting more comfortable. He's getting more comfortable, and he's getting more confident. He made some plays. I don't know what his numbers were Saturday, but I like watching Keldrick Falk. Let's see, K and Lee, you said a defensive back is going to have some roller coaster on him. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, big dog. And it's kind of like offensive line. Nobody really notices you until you blow a coverage or somebody, mosses you. I'm trying to think. Anybody else has played significantly besides those 4? Jeremiah Cobb?
No, not really.
And don't you love how they use Jeremiah Cobb?
Yeah,
And I wouldn't be opposed to using him more.
I'd hand it off to him a couple times.
Me too.
But look, when Hunter's playing like he was, you
sure.
You ride the hot hand. And even Batee didn't have as much success as Hunter was having. And they had to run wide zone the whole time. Everybody is starting to understand what that looks like because it's really one of the few schemes they run. And Mississippi State had a nose guard. They kind of dictated that. But all the RPOs off of it, man, Peyton Thorne, gosh, he was clean on all that stuff. So that's what it looks like. You score 27 and your defense holds to 13 on the other side. And I don't know if the game was any. I mean, that game went by really fast. I thought Justin and I up in the press box.
I think it was under 3 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, those quarters were flying by, and I'm like, all right, if you're mixing tempo in, you're not going tempo all the time, but that's certainly. I mean, you're trying to run the game down. That worked. That's good.
I was looking. Sometimes they'll give you the time. 3 hours and 1 minute.
Yeah, that's a short.
3 hours and 1 minute. Love them short games, big dog. All right, Zach, keep us going, big dog. Good stuff, Bryce.
5023. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, man, this is Devin from Carrollton, Georgia.
Oh, Caleb Odom territory.
Yeah, Juju Lewis.
Oh, yeah, man. Juju, Caleb. I'm Frankie Freeze on the corner.
Okay.
Frankie Freeze.
Anyways, I want to say that I enjoy listening to y'all guys' show, man. Cole, I love all your stories you put up on recruiting.
Appreciate it.
And man, I'm just glad we got a dub this week.
I know it.
But I do want to say, man, the tempo. I think the tempo we gotta keep pushing at these next 3 games for real. You was asking that question on what's the next 4 games that what's our record the next 4 games. I'm saying 3-1 with a close loss to Bama.
I can see that.
But I have us going 3-1 the next 4 games.
So beating Arkansas on the road.
I'm gonna get off here, but I appreciate y'all and
man,
I love listening to the show.
Appreciate you, Devin. It means a lot to us, man. It really does. 3-1. He's got Auburn beating Arkansas on the road and finishing 7-5.
That would be 7-5.
Zach, what was yours? 2-2.
What was yours, Zach?
I was at 7-5, and I went down to 6-6 about the same time Jeffrey did. I just got to see Arkansas. If Arkansas looks bad this weekend, I'll bump it back up to 7-5 because I think that is a winnable road game. But if Arkansas comes out and that, sometimes when you change OCs, change head coaches, get the interim, you saw the Auburn effect last year. That's the only thing that makes me concerned is what if KJ Jefferson just turns it on against Auburn?
Right.
It's going to be a problem.
He's very capable.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Very capable. I'm like Zach. Ask me next week. I mean, of course, we're going to update this each week. But as of today, I'm still 6-6. I don't like Auburn on the road, but let me watch Auburn on the road this weekend. Let me see what Arkansas is up to, and then I might recalibrate. All right, appreciate you, Devin. Good stuff, big dog.
1-1, 3-8. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
All right, appreciate you, Devin. Good stuff, big dog.
Hello. This
Hey,
is Ricky from Birmingham.
This is who?
Ricky from Birmingham.
Hey, what's up, Ricky from Birmingham? What's on your mind tonight, big dog?
Pretty good. I'm trying to keep it simple. I have 2 questions. I had 3, but Jhead not on today. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, my first question is Wes McGriff new position a good thing or a bad thing for recruiting right now?
I mean, it seems like a good thing. We don't know everything that goes on with it, but it seems like he's taken a little bit of the workload off of Freeze. And honestly, they needed somebody to do that a little bit. I mean, look, he's still recruiting like he has been. Don't get me wrong, but he's got to get his hands in everything, and he wasn't really able to do it. I don't think now he can a little bit more.
Okay. My last question will be for Cole.
All right.
Does Auburn have potential to have a number 1 class? What players do Auburn need to add? What players do they need to add to the class to make that happen?
You talking number 1 like this year?
2024 class.
Ooh.
2024 is going to be tough. I don't think they can do it personally. Now, top 10, definitely on the table. Top 5 is going to be tough too. I think top 10 is.
I think top 5 is the ceiling. If you get Ryan Williams and you flip Jeremiah Beeman and you Cam Coleman. I mean, you're talking about multiple 5-stars that's going to jack. I think top 5 is a ceiling. And I'll tell you why, Ricky. This staff, this 2024 class, they were a little bit behind starting this class. So that's why we're reporting about all these flips, because all these kids were already built in with other coaches. So they were a little bit behind in this 2024 class. The 2025 class is where they're on even footing with everyone, pretty much 98% on even footing. So now that's all things are equal with 2025. 2024, they're still playing catch up a little bit.
The vibe in the building, Jeffrey, I don't know if you picked up on this, is sky high. They think that class is going to be the turning point. I mean, they feel that way.
Right now, in the 2025 class, already number 4 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's I heard.
I think it'll stay around there, Ricky.
It ain't slowing down either.
I think top 5 in 2025 is absolutely very doable.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen Auburn. I think the highest I've ever seen was maybe 6.
7.
Yeah.
7, 6. Yeah.
But
that was
so
Michael Dyer class.
Class in 2010. That's probably the highest I've seen in my lifetime.
What was it, Ricky? I covered it and I don't even remember.
Yeah, it was 2010 class. They were ranked 5th in the country.
There you go. I'm gonna pull up on 3.
Yeah, my last thing I need to bring this to y'all attention.
I heard rumors that Matt Luke was at the game Saturday, and
He was.
I heard he's good friends with Hugh Freeze, and I think he potentially might join the staff.
Yeah, Matt Luke was there. David Cutcliffe was there too. Was interesting. And obviously Derek Mason was calling the game. So a lot of coaches there, but yeah, Matt Luke, he walked in like he's been there before. He looked pretty comfortable. He was on the field. He was everywhere. We had heard that Freeze probably reached out to him and said, we'd love to have you over here. And they're very close. I don't think Matt Luke wants to come out of retirement. I really don't.
Certainly nothing more than maybe an analyst.
I mean, he might talk to Freeze a lot, like an advisor or something. I don't know, just off the record, but I don't think he's coming out of retirement.
He's an O-line guy, right?
Yeah. Offensive guy, O-line guy. Yeah.
Unless Jake Thornton was planning on, dipping out. I don't see where are you gonna fit Matt Luke in?
Yeah.
Unless it was an analyst, he can go. Yeah, he can go and work all day, go home at 5 o'clock to the son, his wife and kids, and live a normal life. What happened? What I do? Did something happen?
Yeah.
What I do? What was it?
The thumb up again.
I was trying to do that earlier.
Now it doesn't want it.
It cracks me up. I don't know. It makes no sense.
Sorry, Ricky. We're easily entertained over here, big dog. Sorry.
Oh, Jhead's laughing somewhere right now.
Thank you, Ricky. Great call. I'm sorry that my elementary humor.
So, Jeffrey,
we appreciate it.
I'm looking at the 2010 class. That was Mike Dyer, Cam Newton, T. Reed, Jeff Whitaker, Ladarius Owens, some higher ranked guys, Antonio Goodwin, Eric Mack, Sean Kitchens.
Yeah.
They didn't make it all the way through. But
did you see the team rankings?
Yeah, for on 3, it was 7.
Oh, where'd you see this? Oh, sorry, hitting my mic. I was looking on Rivals because that's where I was at the time.
They also took 32 guys in that class.
Yeah.
That's a big class.
2024.
Some of your 3-stars in that class were Ron Smith, Chad Slade, Stephen Clark, Ron White, Chris Davis. Just a good class, man.
All right, here we go. All right, Zach, keep us going, big dog. I'll jump in here. Auburn at number 4 on Rivals.com in 2010. Yep, that's from I remember. That's top 5 ahead of Alabama, oddly enough. All right, Zach, keep us going. Thank you, Ricky.
1406. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Josh Corbett, Birmingham again. How are y'all tonight?
All right. Doing good.
Josh Corbett, what's that?
One thing, I do think Freeze was more involved with play calling because there was a moment in the third quarter they were down in the red zone, and he is jumping up and down, screaming trying to get Thorne's attention to make an adjustment from it. It looked like it was going to be a pass play out to the left flat, but he went to an RPO run with Jarquez Hunter to the right. And I just think with this whole Wesley McGriff thing, he's more involved in this play calling. My questions tonight is for Cole. I don't know if you began your film study, but what particularly were they doing different in this game to open Peyton Thorne up where he wasn't pressing so much?
Well, for whatever reason, Mississippi State backed their corners off a lot. I don't quite understand that. They do that so they can blitz. You can't play too tight if you're going to blitz because you got no safety help a lot of times. And they didn't. And that's opened up some of these single shots that you saw earlier in the season. And they finally connected on a couple of them with chain hooks, or maybe just one, honestly. But they got the hitches all day, and they just started doing the RPO stuff and and Peyton Thorne just read it. I mean, I haven't given him a bad grade on an RPO play yet because it's just so smooth. He sees the hitch, bam, there it is. Trying to think of anything else. The drop, I thought there was more variety in your drop back passing. I call it drop on the board. That's short for drop back, meaning, this is not a play action. This is just a straight drop. He's got a little step and then he throws. They were in trips a lot. They did some of these rub routes. They did some things I hadn't really seen in that regard. And then you had the out and up to Javarius Johnson that went for a touchdown. Beautiful. The wheel route to Jeremiah Cobb. They got a little more creative with that because for whatever reason they felt like, I guess, protection was going to be better, and it was pretty good. And they thought they could hit them in the holes where they were blitzing.
Yeah, I saw today where Freeze said after the Ole Miss game, that last drive, he said, "This is what we need to go to. We need to be running more tempo." And did we see more? Have you seen more tempo? I know at times we did it against State, but it feels like the second half, like first half was phenomenal. The second half, I felt like they got off the throttle a little bit because they was like, they can't score to keep up with us.
Yeah, they had to. They had some real bad field position in the second half a lot of times, and that's going to stop you, especially when you got a lead like that, and in the back of your mind, if I don't get this clock down, my defense is going to be on the field for 80 plays. And they ended up getting 67, Mississippi State, which was more than Auburn, 62 plays. So they did a good job of managing that. Sometimes what it looks like to the eye is not pleasing because, all right, you're going 3 and out. But how much time did you burn? 2.5 minutes? That's more than, 1 minute trying to do your hurry up. So this is how you have to play this game a little bit. They didn't have good field position, and they had to roll it that way. And I think Freeze actually said that in the presser after. So, I thought they did a great job with tempo. They had it when they needed to, and they pulled back from it when they couldn't do it or felt uncomfortable with it.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, guys, and I know Hope made a post on who's going to Nashville. We should all get an Auburn Live meetup going somewhere. My wife and I'll be there.
Man, thanks, Josh. For recruiting guys like Cole and myself, Cole's kind of what'd you call it? Swiss Army knife. Away games are like, yes, I'll be back in the woods this weekend, big dog. Y'all go up to Nashville all you want. That's worse than Atlanta, almost.
I got to go down to Mobile for a wedding, which is at 4:00. The game's at 3. So
sweet, of course,
I will be making a late appearance at that wedding.
Can't believe people still do that. It's unbelievable. This is wedding season.
I know, man. I know.
Cole's better than some people, though. Some people just won't go. So at least he's putting the football side a little bit and at least shooting up.
We're going to be represented. My wife is going to be there, and my kid. So
if it was a home game, would you go to the wedding or to the football game?
I would be at the football game. I mean, that's it. I don't have to.
I was trying to think of other hand signs that might react. I can't do it, dude. How did I do it earlier?
East or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's old now. We know how to do that one now. All right, Zach, keep us going, me dog. I figured out.
3407. You're live. Who we talking to? Where you called it from?
Oh, this is JR from McIntosh, Alabama.
McIntosh. What's on your mind tonight, JR?
Hey, I got a couple things for y'all, high school wise and college.
We like it.
Yes.
This should have been done happen a long time ago. What he did yesterday, letting Peyton play the whole game.
Completely agree, JR.
He runs his own read better. He got the whole deal better. But Robbie, he looks so stiff when he runs, man. He looks like a piece of plywood hitting the ground, flopping. But I don't know. He should have been doing this from jump start.
I agree.
Yes.
But also, I had a couple high school things I want to say to you.
All right.
Larry G. Montgomery, their quarterback, he's committed to South. What has Auburn even gauged at him any?
What's his name, JR?
Jared Holland.
Holland.
It's Hollins, right? Hollins.
Yeah, Holland.
Oh,
Heard his name. I don't think Auburn's really recruited him, but he is a good player, man. I checked out his highlights the other day. Actually, he's killing it. I mean they're undefeated, right? Mary G.
Jared
Montgomery.
Hollins. Yeah, they're badass.
Yes. I mean, he's a big.
Is that
dog
Goson?
kid.
Is
I mean,
that
he's
Goson the
really
head coach?
good. I'm just curious why he ain't getting the smoke everybody else is getting.
Hey, Jr. Is Zach Goson the head coach over there?
Yes, he is.
There you go, Prattville line, baby. There it is.
Is he?
Yeah,
Prattville line.
and also another kid from Saraland. He's a DN linebacker, Chris Man Thompson. Have y'all anybody looked at him any?
No. Obviously Ryan Williams. I mean, Ryan Williams, and who was Antonio Coleman, and then you're saying who's the other guy?
Chris Thompson.
Chris Thompson.
Chris
Yeah,
Thompson.
I don't know that one. Don't know that one.
Well, you know what grade he's in?
Yeah, he's a senior this year.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I was just a first-time caller, and I appreciate y'all taking my call, man.
Hell yeah, JR, call us back, big dog. Don't be a stranger.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So for Chris, it looks like, according to his social media at least, he only has one D1 offer from Alabama State
Okay.
right now. And then the quarterback from MGM, he's got an offer from Virginia, Boston College, NC State, but the rest are FCS Group of 5 schools. He's a 3-star athlete, though.
He can play. He reminds me a lot of Hank Brown from the last cycle. I mean, just kind of flying under, and then, big school takes a shot on him. But that might be what happens with this kid. I mean, he's pretty good.
2,100 yards, 21 touchdowns with just 2 interceptions last year.
And they're rolling right now.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they went up against Baker and won convincingly
They
with
did.
Bryce Payne and Flowers.
Yeah. Shout to Zach, man. Zach Goson. Not you too, Zach, but Zach Goson, man. I've known him for a long time. He's excellent coach.
Hey, speaking of Golsons at Prattville, wasn't there who am I thinking of? Was there not a big defensive lineman or offensive lineman? Austin Golson. There you go. Any kin?
I don't know.
I bet you.
They probably are.
Prattville took a L Friday night though.
Yeah, Prattville's a little down right now. A little down. They're in a transition again. Yeah,
Auburn beat them like 48-0.
Yeah.
Remember Prattville was like Nick Gentry and they had a safety that everybody went to Alabama back in the day. Nick Perry, there you go.
And Justin Shanks was really good.
Yeah, I don't think Auburn got anybody from Prattville except the running back. Wasn't he?
That way.
There you go.
Yep,
right.
Camp that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. How many we got, Zach?
2 callers.
Okay, cool.
0448. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
How about you, fellas?
How about you, big dog? Who we talking to?
Hey, man, this is JJ from Claude, Alabama.
J-Day.
Jay Davis? Is that what he said?
No, not Jay Davis.
What? Say it again.
It's just JJ Kenny.
J-Day. Okay.
J-Day? Spell it, J-Day.
Just J and Day.
JJ.
JJ. Is he saying like JJ?
Oh, JJ.
Like Dynamite?
Yeah, JJ.
Okay.
That's on me.
Me too, big dog. I had JADAY down here. J-Day. JJ from where?
I'm from Claude, Alabama.
Claude.
Okay.
Dude, I don't even know where that is.
Right outside of
What?
area.
Out of Wetumpka.
Elmore County?
Okay.
That's a community. Huh.
Interesting.
How about that? Well, talk to us, big dog. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, listen, guys, I've been calling for the last 4 weeks. This is the first time I've been in here. I'm glad I'm a first-time caller, so it's definitely finally good to be able to talk with you guys.
Yeah.
I was at the game yesterday, and I was watching. It looked like our receivers looked a lot better in this game. I just wanted to see what you guys' opinion was, what your observations were. And also, just talk about, the future of the wide receiver position. I think Malcolm Simmons, I think he's going to be a very, very big guy for us. I know we get caught up talking about some of the bigger guys in the class, but Malcolm Simmons, man, he's a dog.
He is. So is Bryce Perry.
Bryce Kane.
And then
Bryce Perry.
Bryce Perry, right?
Bryce Perry.
Yeah. Bryce Perry's a dang good one, too. He's fast, man.
Hey, do you live, Claude, you live near Johnson's Tractor Sales?
Pretty close.
Okay. I didn't know if you were on that side of Claude or over by Bush's Grocery.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between both of them, really.
Oh, okay. I see you over by that big old pond by the Auto Glass Plus.
Yeah.
Wait,
Claude.
Did he say Autauga County or Elmore County?
Elmore County.
Elmore
County. Okay.
Yeah. You know, Johnson's Tractor Supply.
That's right.
Right now from Auto Glass Plus.
Of course.
You remember Bush's Grocery used to be down on the right.
There's a Hardee's. All the old folks meet out there.
No, you gotta go. You gotta go on into town to get to Jolly Central.
Okay.
Claude, dude, I love this. JJ, I love it. Some Claude. It's smaller than Woodland.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's real small. If you blink, you'll miss it.
On Highway 14. Hell, that would take you right into Notasulga.
Well, I've been on Highway 14 8 million times in my life. I know I've been through there.
Just pay attention next time for that Johnson Tractor Sales.
I'm going to.
Hey, for all your tractor supply needs, give Johnson Tractor Sales a call.
Be looking for JJ too.
All right, JJ, have we even discussed football yet?
Yeah.
Okay, he asked the question.
Yeah, he asked a question about the wide receivers.
Oh, yeah. The future wide receiver. Oh, man, you got to be excited about that.
One guy changed a lot of things for Auburn, and it was Javarius Johnson. Ooh, he makes a difference. Wow.
Was that his first game back?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Separation was made.
Yeah, he can do it. And more Jay Fair. That's good. More.
Let me tell you.
Burton.
The conference has been locked.
Let me tell you. I looked at this. Let me tell you how many people caught passes yesterday. Rivaldo Fairweather, Jay Fair, Javarius Johnson, Jarquez Hunter, Camden Brown, Damari Austin, Shane Hooks, Caleb Burton, Brian Batee, Malcolm Johnson Jr., and Jeremiah Cobb. 11 different people caught passes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Rivaldo had 4. Jay had 3. Jarquez. Camden had 3. I mean, and 9 of those 11 had multiple catches. That's throwing the football. And I guess that happens when you complete 20 of 26 passes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad the quarterback controversy seems to be a thing of the past.
It's not over. If he has a bad game in either even if it's against Bama, and we know how good Bama's looking right now, it's still going to be, man, if we would have went a different direction, we would have won that game.
You're right.
Backup quarterback's the most popular player on the team at all
times. There you go. Do we got one more?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
7254. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Are y'all there?
Yeah, man. Who we got?
We here.
All right, this is Bubba from Carrollton, Georgia.
Man, Carrollton, Georgia's all over the show tonight.
Represented.
I'm just calling to ask about that Georgia linebacker commit, Jaden Perlotti.
Good question.
Things stand with him, and are y'all close to putting in an RPM prediction then? And just any other recruiting nuggets y'all got or anything. But that was it. I appreciate everything y'all do, and War Eagle.
Appreciate you, Bubba. That's a great question, man. That's a great question.
I'm glad you got there on that one because that needs to be addressed.
Absolutely. Jaden Perlotti, the 4-star linebacker from Buford, Georgia, who's committed to Georgia. He has been since January, but he showed up at Auburn's Big Cat in July. He showed up at the UMass.
There it is.
What happened?
A thumbs up.
Pow, pow. What happened? He showed up at one of the earlier games, the Georgia game. No. He showed up a Big Cat, Georgia game, Ole Miss game, and was back on campus Saturday for the Mississippi State game. So he's been to 3 home games at Auburn.
He kind of slipped in and out like I mean,
he knew what he was doing.
I talked to Clemente. You know, I'm up in the box. He's still down on the field. He didn't even see him. We had several people in the student section that saw him, and I ended up seeing him kind of walking away. And I'm like, oh, wow.
He wasn't in the recruiting section.
I don't think he was.
I looked. And I had to confirm through somebody else that he was even there. But, Bubba, Cole, are you close to putting in a recruiting prediction, a flip?
These high priority ones, especially when they're committed to Georgia. Look, I did it for DeMarcus Riddick. That was tough to do, believe it or not. But I'm telling you, I had a good source on that one. Felt great about it. Ended up being an awesome deal there. Had that pick in for months. So with this one, I'm taking a lot of caution. Even though what I'm hearing right now, I mean, so positive for Auburn, right? I mean, and now it's kind of like the cat's out of the bag here. The dude's been to the game 3 times, 3 games in a row, isn't it? In a row?
Yes,
3 Auburn home games in a row, but he's committed to Georgia. I mean, you know, if you're trying to be quiet and secretive about this or whatever, you're trying to work, you know, quietly with this one. That's kind of over now. He's been to 3 Auburn games. Whether that's reported or not, Georgia finds out about that. That's how that works in recruiting. So, Auburn, man, we talked about this 25 class. Right now, I think it's possible that Jaden Perlotti could be in it.
I hadn't really considered putting in a recruiting prediction for him because there was a lot of moving pieces behind the scenes. I just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
But the longer it goes on, I feel like the more common knowledge it becomes. Because like you said, Cole, what's the secret now? He's been to 3 Auburn games. He hasn't been afraid to tell you. I do know that I talked to 2 people Saturday. And I tell you what, if I could talk to one more tomorrow and then him tell me the same thing that the other 2 people told me, I'll consider it.
It feels so much like Riddick's. I think isn't it Keith who used to say cautiously optimistic all the time?
Sure.
So I'll use that term here. Cautiously I've talked to some good sources on this at Auburn, and they're like super cautious on this, but they're also very positive that it could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, they think they're moving in the right direction 100%, but they're also like, we know this game, okay? You got to really watch this thing. They did the same thing with Riddick, and that's nothing against Riddick. Like, if you see him at Auburn games, you can tell the guy's all Auburn. He probably has been for a long time. You just don't know because this whole recruiting thing, especially in this NIL world, boy, it gets wild. And the big boys know how to recruit, okay? Auburn's one of the big boys now, though. I wouldn't say they were a year ago.
Oh, no doubt.
They are.
When you're flipping Alabama and Georgia commitments and you're beating Alabama head up and you're beating Georgia head up, yep. You're like you said earlier, Cole, no offense to Arkansas, but you're really not going up head-to-head with Mississippi State, with Arkansas.
No, and you've kind of upped your talent level you're recruiting in a way, too, sure. At the same time. But it's also, hey, if you ever do get – I mean, DJ Barber, that's a guy that Arkansas wanted big time.
That's true.
T-Will, you know, trying to get a linebacker, and Auburn shuts the door on that, no problem, you know?
Okay, so I think both of us would agree, Cole, that I would put Perlotti, if I was doing a hot board, I would put him at 55%. I would give Auburn a slight edge.
I would too.
I would put Auburn as a slight edge for Perlotti. It's a big difference than going out on a limb and making a recruiting prediction, but I will say that. I think, like you said, Cole, we both feel that Auburn leads for him, believe it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else recruiting-wise? Ryan Montgomery was there. He was a 2025 4-star quarterback. Antonio Coleman was there. A bunch of 2025s. I don't know if any other 2024s besides Riddick and was DJ there. A couple of commitments, no 2024s. Oh, the kid you wrote about, the Dice.
Yes. Tavares Dice.
Oh, I'll tell you who else. Andrew Maddox, man. He's a 2025 four-star defensive lineman from Mississippi. Auburn loves this kid. He's a top 50 overall recruit. He was there. I'm going to try to get something on him tonight or tomorrow because Auburn really likes him.
Auburn really likes Tavares Dice, too. In fact, we're talking about RPM predictions here. That's his third game of the season. Langston Hughes. Everybody's familiar with Langston Hughes, I'm sure.
Infamously.
Yeah. He's at Langston Hughes. I mean, he's really like LSU, Florida, Alabama, Georgia. They've all offered him. And he's a 3-star with on 3 right now, but his offer list is 5-star. And Auburn keeps getting him back.
I tell you where I'm at a standstill, and I wish something. I really enjoyed David Eziomume. He's the Clemson running back commitment. Would like, it's kind of died down. He came to the Georgia game and the Ole Miss game. Was that right?
Yeah. No, it was Samford and Georgia.
There you go. The previous 2 before Ole Miss, and now he's tweeting. He's accepted into Clemson. So I probably need to do some digging on that running back recruitment. Like I've got him at 45% on the hot board. I've had him there since he came. So I don't know if that's moved any, if it's gone down, if it's gone up. I haven't seen any new offers out as far as running backs goes. So that leads me to believe that there's Clemson's booty. I mean, they're
terrible.
Dookie. Yeah. And Dabo is real. I mean, he's not looking really good in the media.
What did Dave Doran say after that win, Zach?
About Steve Smith?
Oh
yeah.
He was pretty much like he was talking out of his and it's like we're not a basketball school. He don't know what he's talking about. He did it again today. Like he reiterated it again.
Like, he can kiss my ass.
Yeah. Steve Smith said Clemson gets this one because NC State's getting ready for basketball or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, Clemson, dude.
They're terrible as a team. They're 2-4 in conference play right now.
In that conference.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh. Well, do we want to hit a couple of questions or anything in particular? Listen. Oh, French T. Taylor. Hey, appreciate that, French T. I will say this, man. Thank you for the reminder. We do not want the tips or whatever it's called, super chats. We do appreciate them. Absolutely. But if you go to the Auburn Live, you're on it right now, YouTube channel, hit that subscription, man. Subscribe to it. That helps us a lot, believe it or not. And it doesn't have to come out of your own pocket. That thing is free.
Yep.
And it helps us a lot. I don't know how, but it does.
Or if you got $1, you can come try us for a month over at Auburn Live too.
Oh, yes. That $10, man, you could have got another month. Let me see. We got 7.47 subscribers. I would love to see that 10. I don't know how you do that.
Right?
What do you do? I don't know. I ain't gonna beg and plead, man. Y'all hit that subscribe button if you want to, man. if you don't completely understand, I completely. Anyways, French T. Hey guys, do you feel Auburn will hit the TP for Ward, the quarterback from Wazoo, if he becomes available? Zach says no, emphatically.
I just don't see him leaving Washington State because he already used up his one free transfer. So he would have to graduate because he transferred from Incarnate Word to Washington State, but he went to Washington State because his head coach at Incarnate Word is now the OC there. And then he stayed even after the OC left. So I just think he likes it up at Washington State. I just don't see him leaving. I really do think he's going to the draft this year.
Okay. There you go, man.
He's the bomb. That's
the benefit of Zach in the back coming to the front right there. Zach's got this just random bunch of bullshit. Kind of, I don't know. You got a random question? Call in tonight, man. Zach,
that's an FCS guy. He's
I know it.
He's the man when it comes to FCS. There's no doubt.
Bubba, the old man Auburn sports talk. Do we start Lou for the rest of the year, regardless of Avery Jones's health? Ooh. I would have said easy yes, but I don't know. I'll ride the coal on this one.
There's actually an old unspoken rule in coaching, in the coaching world, where if a guy who is starting and won the job outright
Yeah.
Gets injured, doesn't lose the job because of his performance. He gets injured. You give him back the job when he comes back. That is, it's just, I don't know if that's the right thing or not, but that's what coaches do. They do it a lot.
I agree. That's true.
It's really hard to penalize the guy for getting hurt when he was doing a fine job. But maybe somebody like Hugh Freeze breaks the mold and says, well, kind of lose better. I don't know if he is or not. I can't tell.
Or at least he's on a shorter leash.
Sure.
Bubba and the old man Auburn sports talk. I like it. Joseph Williams wants to know, how do you guys feel about our freshman defensive lineman, excluding Falk, meaning Travis Denard, Wilkie? I forgot about Wilkie. Deron Reed, Aniche Sledge. Who's Travis?
Bobby Travis, Quintrell.
Oh, I forgot about Bobby. He's not really young though. He's a defense JUCO, wasn't he? I mean, I guess on the roster he is.
Yeah, JUCO. He got there late, like a couple days.
Well, the only feel I have for those guys is we watched them coming out of high school. I haven't really heard anything about any of those four since the summer.
I hear a lot about Reed, probably because I'm the Reed enthusiast here.
He's the president of the fan club.
I talked to a good source about Reed the other night. I actually found out he got hurt during fall camp, and that really slowed him down a lot. It was his hand, same kind of deal that Keys had, hand, thumb, wrist, something like that kept him out. And as a freshman, you miss fall camp, you're not starting off good there. That's tough. You got to go through fall camp as a freshman, get thrown into that fire. But from what I understand, he's there if they need him, and they're thinking about it. They're thinking about it with how paper thin that defensive line rotation is. God, it's thin.
That makes a lot
in the SEC has 8 to 10 guys they rotate. Auburn rotates 5.
That makes a lot of sense, though, when it comes to Deron Reed, because I thought he would be one of the guys we would see if they needed the depth, and we haven't seen him. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
This is a great question here, B Belk. That's in fact a BB3LK. Bradley Shaw, Cole. I haven't thought about Bradley Shaw in weeks, maybe months.
Yeah, he's not going to go to Auburn. I'll go ahead and say that.
Clemson likes him. I had a guy
from Arkansas.
Reach out, Arkansas. That would probably be my bet. But Clemson, they like him. But man, Josh Corbett is back from Birmingham. Will Auburn still take a quarterback in the portal? Oh, TBA as far as I'm concerned, or TBD.
I say yes.
Oh, well, I would too, because you got to think it's not like they're going to have the depth chart they have now in 3 months. People are going to leave.
Any FCS quarterbacks going to get picked off in the portal this year?
I mean, there's a few that could. I mean, Cole Gonzalez, who's playing up under Kerwin Bell right now, is a true sophomore. Before he kind of got banged up, I mean, he was probably the best quarterback in the FCS. I mean, a lot of the top quarterbacks are seniors this year, but he'd be one I would look at potentially.
What about the guy from Hires, Sanford?
I think this is his final year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he has any more eligibility after this. But he kind of took a big step back this year. I'll be honest. I don't even think he's going to be an All-American. I think the guys, I mean, Davius Richard at North Carolina Central, I don't know if he has a grad year. That's a guy who's 6'4", probably 230, and has 12 rushing touchdowns, can throw it, can run it. I mean, he's like the mini Cam Newton of FCS right now. But he would have to get a Sam Hartman year, which I'm not sure how that qualifies, because those Central guys like Tez Walker was at North Carolina Central with Davius.
Yeah.
And, it was kind of weird because they canceled that COVID season. So I don't really know what his eligibility looks like right now.
Gosh, I'd hate to be the guy that keeps up with all that.
I'll be so glad when that COVID year is behind us.
I hear there's a stud at Incarnate Word.
Zach Calzada. Well, he got hurt, and they started a true freshman last week, and he won like the freshman of the week. Like he threw for like 300 in his first start. It was just ridiculous.
I will say this though, Jeffrey, on the transfer portal quarterback thing, they're going to lose somebody.
Yeah,
somebody ain't coming back.
Very true. But you're bringing in Walker.
Yeah,
You're bringing Walker in January. You're going to lose one.
I don't think it's going to be Hank. I don't think it'll be Hank that you lose. Either.
Oh, Henry's here to stay.
Yeah.
You'll have Henry and Walker. You'll have Peyton, obviously. Holden is a what? Is he a redshirt freshman?
Yes.
I don't know that.
I don't think anybody would question him if he decided to look around. You know, that's just kind of the deal right now.
You got to think Robbie and or Holden would be the guys, but I mean, Robbie's going to have to graduate, which he probably has. He feels like he's been in school long enough now. He's probably graduate and transfer. And listen, I hope he does whatever he wants to do, man. I think he could be a good quarterback in the right league.
I don't understand why it's not a compliment to say a quarter. Look, quarterbacks that struggle, most of them end up on the bench or not playing football anymore, period. I'm not asking for that for Robbie Ashford. I think you're a skill guy. That should be a compliment. Hey, you don't belong on the bench. You belong on a field somewhere. Why is that an insult? That is the strangest thing to me. Now, you watch the comments. We'll get the Robbie Ashford folks fired up there.
All right, JJ, done from Johnson's Tractor Supply. Meant to ask you guys that if Ryan Montgomery came from Ohio, he's a 2025 4-star quarterback. Florida, South Carolina, a lot of folks want the kid. He came to Auburn for the first time. If he decides to come to Auburn, are they out on KJ Lacey? It's a pretty good question. I don't think so.
That's an interesting situation.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal, JJ. What happened? Did it do something?
No.
Oh.
My guy. My guy from the corner.
Damn you, Cole. Look, when I waved, it gave me the thumbs up. So what happened?
No, I'm laughing. Honk, if you coach for Bama on the board, is our Robbie Ashford enthusiast. Like, he is the fan club leader. And I told you somebody was going to say something. And then Fred calling me out.
Okay. Okay. Ryan Williams reclassifies to 2024. His recruitment's over with comes February. That's the month Ryan Montgomery wants to announce. KJ Lacey obviously is already committed to Texas. I don't think Auburn they'll continue to push hard for KJ Lacey at least until Ryan Williams makes his decision. And I'm not so sure Auburn wouldn't take him regardless. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, don't get me wrong. I think they would take Ryan Montgomery, but I don't think Auburn, before they find out about Ryan Williams, will they tell KJ Lacey, no, we found our quarterback.
Ain't no way.
It's a conundrum.
You almost just get, if you're Auburn, you almost just want to go, all right, let's do everything we can to get Lacey, because that surely would help you.
I agree.
There's no way it hurts you with Ryan Williams. It can't hurt you.
It would be very beneficial.
And he's good, by the way.
He's shorter than I thought.
He's very small.
He's 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah, he's a small guy. But, hey, he can light it up, son.
Of
course, he's got a lot of good players playing with him right now.
Yeah, that's the only thing that worries me is it another D Davis situation where he's surrounded by all this talent and he's undersized and comes in and just is not. I mean, D Davis went to Alabama State and got benched. So,
are you serious?
They're not.
Yeah,
FCS.
He got benched this year. They're not good.
They're not FCS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alabama State. They are.
Yeah, they are. They're in the SWAC with Jackson State. And
you said he got benched.
Yeah.
Has he been good at all?
No.
Damn.
He won. Okay, my bad. He won MVP of the SWAC MEAC Challenge last season in the first game after playing okay, and then it just went downhill from there.
I remember hearing some buzz he had a good game or something, but I hadn't heard anything.
And then it just came off the rails.
Where was he from? His name was Demetrius Davis.
He was from North Shore in Texas.
Sure was.
North Shore.
Didn't one of his teammates come with him?
Yeah,
no.
Well, he committed to Auburn. Jaden Roberts, offensive lineman, and now he starts for Bama.
Bama, yeah. He flipped. He flipped Or
He
might have been decommitted and then signed. I don't remember if he actually flipped, but
yeah, it was basically a flip, if I remember correctly. It wasn't long after he decommitted.
Well, we did our best without Jhead. We did our best. Could have used. I mean, we had people hanging up on us because they wanted Jhead.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was going to ask Jhead, but Jhead. We still had a really good show, man. Let me. Edward from Selma got us kicked off. Cole from Knoxville. Love Cole from Knoxville.
Yeah, he's good.
Really good. Bryce Bula was fantastic. Devin and Bubba from Carrollton, Georgia. 2 Carrollton Georgias tonight. A couple of Birmingham guys, Ricky, Josh Corbett, JR from McIntosh, and JJ from Claude. Last week when I was reading off the names, I forgot somebody, and their wife hit him upside the head. She was really ashamed of him because he called in and he got on the air, and then when I went to read everybody's name, I didn't read his name, and he slept on the couch for a couple of days. I'm serious. I got a DM about this. You think I'm kidding? So let me read the guys that I know it was. It could have been him last night. I can't remember. I don't think it was Dylan from Tampa. I don't think it was Cameron from Wetumpka. I think it might have been Paul from Hartselle. I also had Jeremy from Killen on the board, AJ from Demopolis, and Rob from Valdosta. I hope one of those guys is the one who got couched. DBs get mossed. He got couched. Oh, there you go. We did our best, folks. I'm sorry Jhead wasn't here, but we did our best. But like Cole said, Auburn Live on 3. Maybe go check us out. Do they have the $1 deal?
Yeah, $1 for 1 month. That's what it's been for a while.
$1 for 1 month. I think they still got the 50% deal too, man. Like $49.99 for a year.
Awesome.
Certainly check it out. Don't forget about Jessica Andrus with the Talents Group, folks. If you're looking to buy or sell in Auburn or Opelika in Lee County, as a matter of fact, give her a call, man, 334-704-4442. Tell her we sent you. I want to thank everybody, man. We love doing this. We appreciate y'all for listening and watching, so we're able to do this every week. It means a lot to us, man. We love it. We love you guys. All right, let's do it. We'll see y'all next week. Join us back here next Sunday at 6:30. We'll have a recruiting show on Wednesday. Until then, man, for Cole Pinkston, for Zach in the back who came to the front, I'm Jeffrey Lee, man. Y'all stay out of that left lane. See ya.